guys. We got 7 guys. If you hit the right field, automatic double, because or like that.
Yeah, it's like Sandlot style.
Pretty much, that's kind of it. That was always my way of doing it. It wasn't fussed. If you were short players, it was like, let's just get a game in because it's our Sunday, and
right.
Playing the game is more important than worrying about your shorter few people here and there.
Yep.
And John was good at riding the pine, so we always borrowed John whenever we came over.
Yeah, cool.
I'd be fair. John had just started playing baseball, so he hadn't been playing a whole lot. So and our team, we travel about an hour to Glasgow to play our games, and so a lot of people are like, "Oh man, I can't travel that far for a baseball game." So we always had guys that were short. So
that's cool. Well, I kind of get my fix with softball here in the States. There's not. I mean, we'll go hit baseball with wood bat and hardball,
Yeah.
But the softball is the thing that's organized around here. But I wish we did baseball. I'd much rather do baseball.
Is there not like a local wood bat team that you can play in down there? I know it's getting bigger.
There are some local. They're a little. They're like tryout type of thing instead of just show up and Sandlot. So.
Okay, that's not too bad. I thought it was more of like it was actually enough for you to try out to make the team, and then you got to train twice a week for games. And
oh my goodness, I don't know what they do. I have a buddy who did it. I need to talk with him and see, but he did it for one season. I think it was a little too much. But he played college ball and all that. I just, I was a street ball player.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just always played in the street or a backyard or something. So.
Yeah, exactly. You have some old broken bat you shouldn't probably be using anymore, and you're just grabbing tennis balls and see how far you can smash them.
Oh yeah, tennis balls. One time we found at a department store that's going out of business, found a bucket of the like solid rubber balls.
Yeah.
And they're like 10 cents each, and we just spent all of our allowance on that and got like 50 or 60 of them. We just went through those for a whole like 2 or 3 summers, I feel like.
But those were fun. I remember taking those balls and then taking a black Sharpie and doing it. So you had the black and white when you threw it. I always thought it was the coolest thing ever. So then you pick up the pitches and that there. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. We didn't do that. They were just solid white. We didn't know what was coming.
I think but this is probably the same time that I was getting into card collecting, and I had just gotten George Brett's autograph, and so I was trying to like copy people's autographs on there.
Oh yeah, we did that. We never owned a ball that we didn't like fake an autograph on, I feel like.
So who are you faking then? What players are you trying to fake?
Oh man, back in the day, like Frank Thomas, Ryan Sandberg. I remember like doing Ryan Sandberg. Of course, like Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth. The cool signatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always like Mickey Mantle's weird hymns that he did.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Bo Jackson, of course.
Yes, exactly.
He was everything.
Oh yeah, because as soon as you go, no one's gonna know the difference because you didn't have the internet back then. You just go, if I sign this on here, someone might actually believe it's the real signature.
Oh yeah, man, I remember taking like old repro cards and soaking them in coffee just to like fool my friends. I'm just like piddling around with a card, like roughing sand the edges, around the edges of them. They smelled like coffee. That's why I gave them away as fake.
So if we can figure out a way to do that without getting the coffee smell, we're in business, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do. Maybe tea.
Oh, right. Well, we can sort you out in the tea over here. That's not a problem.
Oh yeah.
See, I always remember getting like cards. So funny enough, I actually have that George Brett card here that I got signed because I got my cards in front of me here. But
that's awesome. Did you get him signed at a game? Is that how you got signed?
Yeah, he was signed. So I'm from Seattle, so he was signed in the Kingdom. And
oh, nice.
Like before the game, he was doing autographs, and of course, me being like 7 years old, I was like, "Yeah, I got his autograph," and then immediately put it in my back pocket and sat on it through the whole game.
Of course,
because you didn't care that it was a card. You had the autograph.
Yeah.
All about it. And then I was like, and then I think I was trying to do like, if I put enough books on it, I can flatten it out again. So
yeah, I did the books too, like stack up stuff.
I was just like, there'll be some way to get the stuff out of it, and we'll flatten it. It looks fine, but yeah, unfortunately the card's just not working anymore.
Yeah, it's a good story though. You got the story.
I think that was always it, because like if you nicked your cards or like that when you're putting them in plastic sleeves, you're always pissed off about it, and it's like, oh, how can I make it look good now? So
I know. Oh yeah, I've been there.
So you're a big card collector then?
I was like in the day, like in the 80s and early 90s. We traded cards. We'd buy the hobby boxes, at Sam's Club. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sam. We get those. I did that with the 87 tops. And then the 90s just kind of moved on and did other things, not collecting cards.
Mhm.
But then got back into art and baseball cards. And it must have been like 2015 or so. And I had like no clue what like hobby collecting cards were doing at all. So I got back into it and it was just like, oh my goodness, they were having like the cards you could collect that had one of JFK's hairs or something. It was like, oh man, all these cut jerseys, which I'm down for. It's like I have to stay a little bit away from it or I could spend way too much money. Just jump back in. I did that in 2015, I think it was. I collected the set from Hobby Boxes of the Topps Heritage.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
really liked that whole set. I'm not a huge fan of the just standard Topps set. I like certain cards, but the Topps Heritage got me. That was like, I was right in that demographic. I was like, oh yeah, I love revisiting these old sets and seeing the new players kind of printed all weird on there. It's really cool.
Well,
So
see,
I collected that. I think it's 2015 or 16. I can't remember now, but
yeah, I think those are probably my favorite sets now because it's like you can reimagine there. And I have a buddy who builds sets, Ethan. Shout out to Ethan if you're watching. And he was going because 87 Tops was like the first one I remember like buying boxes and boxes of. And
yep.
and he's
That was
like,
me
oh
too.
yeah, that's like a variation of like the 1962 Tops. And he goes, yeah, everything is made post 1980. It's just a variation of an older set there. And he started looking
Yeah.
at it. I was like, I never knew that. Like for me, it was all about, okay, where's my Cansegos, where's my McGuire's, where's
Yep.
my Bo Jackson, Frank Thomas's. It was all about the player. And now I'm going back on it. I'm like, oh man, like the designs were so good and I can appreciate it now. And that just completely lost me. And I was just like, yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's cool. They need to revisit the wood again, though. The wood grain, 87 wood
Absolutely.
grain. Yeah.
So
Have they done that since 87? They put any wood grain at all since 87?
I don't know. I have to look back. Like again, like I was a collector, like, the same as you, kind of like from like 87 to 92 was like,
Yeah.
all right, all my money was just going into whenever we went to Costco, you could always just pick up boxes of Donaldson Fleer,
Yep.
as
Yep.
this is possible. And then of course, yeah, I was like, oh no, I need gas money for my car. So like I'm not buying baseball cards.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me too.
Yeah, I got back into it in 2001 because the All-Star game was in Seattle, and I volunteered as there. And I thought I was volunteering to actually work at the game. No, it was at the Fan Fest that was right next to it, and I lucked out and I won a raffle there, and I got a box of 91 or 2001 Bowman and an Ichiro rookie card.
Oh wow, nice.
I was like, oh man, the cards are awesome again, and now I have cash because I'm actually making money.
Yeah, right.
A bunch of cards back then, and then yeah, 2 years later, I ended up in Scotland, and I was like, oh, I haven't touched any cards since. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
Can you find them there in Scotland at all? At any kind of?
no,
Not at all.
gosh, no, not at all. I literally got back into this because my buddy started selling cards up in north of Scotland. He's like, I need someone to do my old cards because I don't know shit. And I was like, I don't know anything about the modern cards. So I was like, all right, we'll do that. And so we started to open, like we did a Wax Packs Wednesday about a year and a half ago. And we bought a pack of cards from 1980 to 1995. And then every week I would open those cards up, and that slowly kind of reeled me back in. And then of course Topps 2020 came out, and I was like, oh man, baseball and art together. Like this is my jam.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's absolutely like drained all the money I know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have to put a little distance, because I totally would spend a lot of money on cards. Well, like that one year I got back into it. You just get to where you need that set, and it's so fun to open a hobby box. It's just so fun, and especially now. It was fun when I was a kid, but now it's really fun because you might get some autograph that's amazing, or a relic card or something.
Yeah, I mean,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they definitely kind of get you back in there, because now it's like he was opening up cards. Oh, this is the orange parallel, and there's a purple one and a black parallel. And I was like, what? I was like,
Yeah.
I was all about just trying to get the set done. So once I got the set, I could stop buying those damn cards. So I could go move on.
I know, short prints and all. Yeah. And then they did the intentional like print mistake cards.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Right. They had like, it was numbered wrong or it said the wrong team on the back or something. I was like, no, I'm not messing with those. I'll do the master set and I'm done.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was always for me. It was like, I want to get a set. Once I've had a set, I'm pretty happy about it. And then now it's all about chasing, those cards there. And it's like, and they're not cheap. Like I remember going to Costco and spending like $8 on a box. So I was like, okay, I don't feel bad about this. I mean, like they're like a good, what, $40, $50 now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If not more sometimes. Yeah. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Or you see those pictures. I'm in my buddy's feed, and he's always sending pictures of like people going to Walmart and just clearing out the stocks of Walmart from everything because whatever the latest drop is, because it's the Luis Robert one, a Robert, and people going crazy to that. I was like, man, I can't imagine grown men are fighting over packs of baseball cards.
Yeah,
trying to find out what the top person does the delivery, so like the cards will be on the shelf 2 hours later, so you can be the first one there for the cards.
Yep. I mean, in 2020, grown adults have fought over a hell of a lot less. So nothing surprises me at this point. On that note, why don't we start the show, guys?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Ball Caps and Bagpipes. This is interview number 2 of 3 this evening. I'm John McKellar, one half of Ball Caps and Bagpipes.
And I'm Jason Durr. I'm former league president and Baseball Scotland Hall of Famer. I'm also the owner of Dugout Classics, and we're involved in this fundraiser.
Yep, dugoutclassics.com for raffle tickets for the excellent raffle that Jason's putting together. It's you've got a lot of items now to raffle off, so that's good. There's pretty much, I think you said earlier, a 1 in 4 chance at the moment of winning something.
Yeah, I think we've got about 50 items we got as prizes.
Grab your tickets. It's £5 or $6.50 if you're in the States from dugoutclassics.com. And we're joined for interview number 2 this evening by Aaron Hill. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to speak with you, man. I love your hat. It matches my shirt.
Yeah, I saw those pinstripes. I recognize those stripes.
Yeah. So that's a little kind of tease of the club you watched growing up. So do you want to tell us about your baseball background growing up? Did you play, and if so, to what level and what positions you played?
Yeah, I played Little League, and that's the highest I went. But then we played street ball like out in front of the house just constantly every summer, and I've always played in some way or another, even if it's just wiffle ball, with friends. That's the fun thing to do. So I didn't play any kind of organized past Little League, but it's always been a part of any time getting outside, and we get pretty serious out there. And we lived at a dead end street, and so we just used the whole paved area. The mailbox was first base and all that sort of thing. So yeah, we played that, and sometimes it's only like 3 or 4 people, but we just made it work. Yeah. So that's my experience. And then trading cards along, we'd play till we were worn out and then go up and empty our shoebox full of cards, and look around.
So you mentioned earlier when we were getting started that you also played softball.
Yeah, just recently, last season. We haven't played this season because of everything going on. But I was in a town, and my brother and I play for just a men's league softball. It's just a way to get out there, have fun, and have beers afterwards. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to get back in where the pressure's on a little bit. You're on a full team. And it was weird. It was kind of strange at first to get used to a pop fly out to you in the outfield. And you're like, oh, this isn't just, I'm not just goofing around with a wiffle ball, So yeah, it was really fun, very addictive. So sad I couldn't play this season. They canceled all that this summer, but hopefully next summer, because that was, man, I didn't even want to miss a game. It was so great.
Awesome, man. So you mentioned trading cards. Do you still have your cards from when you were growing up? And if so, do you have a card that you considered the centerpiece of your collection that you would never part with?
I don't. When I was in like mid 90s, I sold all of my cards, which I got, man, I can't remember how much I got it from, like $150. and it was a lot of late 80s and maybe like 90 or 91. But man, I did not have great cards. I actually came out ahead on that, I think. I don't know. And then like in 2014 or so, I thought, man, I wish I hadn't sold those. I'm gonna look some of those cards up, and I found like all those 80s cards. You can buy the whole sets for nothing. And just out of nostalgia, started buying some of those sets, 80, 85, 86, 87. And I would just get them and go through every single one to look at and remember pulling some of those cards from the packs, which was a lot of fun. It got me back into kind of looking at the newer cards coming out. I think we were talking about the Topps Heritage sets. Definitely love those. My main card that I had was the Dwight Gooden rookie, the traded rookie, 84 Topps. Mm-hmm. I think I was given that for Christmas one year, and it was like a nice hard case, and I kept it all nice. So yeah, that was, especially back then, that was like Dwight Gooden was everything. He was one of my favorite players for sure.
Even though you played for the Mets.
So
Well, I wasn't a Yankees fan back then. I like changed around when I was a little kid. I liked the Mets there when he was playing for the Mets. I liked the Braves a little bit, and then as a teenager, I started following the Yankees more and watching more games. And then unfortunately, I just like was sucked in. I'm too loyal of a fan. But I watch the Yankees all the time. Big fan.
So did you grow up in North Carolina as well? Or are you just living
Close?
There?
Close. I grew up over right on the Virginia-Tennessee border. So it's just like an hour and a half away. And I just recently moved to North Carolina.
Okay, because I was to say, what's the closest minor league team to you then?
The closest minor league team is probably now I can walk to the Tourists. Yeah, I can walk to the Tourists, the Asheville Tourists, and they're like a single A league. The Charlotte Knights, I guess, would be the closest.
Yeah, but when you're growing up, what was the closest minor league? Because I'm assuming the minor league teams have been closer than the major league team.
Yeah, definitely. They were right down the street were, let's see who they were then. They were the Bristol White Sox.
Right, okay.
Yeah, Bristol White Sox. And yeah, we'd go to those games. Everybody around us had Braves hats or Reds hats. That was who everyone local. We kind of rebelled against that, I think. That's another part of why we went, me and my brother, we said, let's choose the Yankees. It was cool. But the White Sox, now they're Bristol Pirates.
Right. Okay.
And they were really close. Right before we moved, in the years before we moved, a couple of years, we kept some of we housed some of the players. It's a rookie league team. And it was so fun because it was open pass to just walk in and out of the park. You could go to every single game. There's no problem. Any kind of seating, you got good seating and everything. And then so we'd go watch those games. And then 11 o'clock, those guys would show up at the house. We had 4 of them living in our house.
Oh, wow.
We're supposed to have 2, but they're like, we need more. I was like, well, I have 2 rooms. And these guys, I requested, can you please give us any of the guys who are from like South America? Because people were kind of afraid of not knowing the language. I said, but we're fine with that. We don't know Spanish, but just like, this would be so good. It'd be a great experience for my 2 boys. And so, they gave us 4 players, all from South America, but it was like one of the best summers ever. My boys, they were young at the time. They thought like the actual Pirates, like they thought the actual MLB team were staying at our house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they'd see games on TV and they're like, is Victor playing today? It's like, no, he's not on the TV.
So Aaron, you grew up a Yankees fan. Do you have a particular Yankee that you would call your favorite? And do you have any games or memories that stick out in your mind as your favorites?
Oh man, I mean, I grew up watching Jeter play his whole career, so I definitely love Jeter. I love the class that he brought to the game, and his clutch hitting was always just great, especially in the playoffs. Man, lots of memories. A lot of it is just like watching baseball with friends, or especially my brother and I would watch the playoffs and get very stressed out and very into those games. Yeah, I mean, one thing that pops is Jeter's last game was pretty amazing. Trying to think further back. Um, yeah, just a lot of playoff memories, like clutch home runs. Um, what the Jeter home run where the fan pulled it in?
Jeffrey Mayer.
Yeah, that was
He just
great.
switched out. Justin was talking about because he's an Oriole fan, and he's like, Jeffrey Mayer.
Jeffrey Mayer.
Both sides of it now.
Yep. Yeah, we were just all in those days with playoffs and everything. Yeah, it's great. Having some good memories this playoff season too.
Giancarlo Stanton is heating up. Let's hope that continues. Yeah, Jason, do you want to touch on the art side of things then, and we'll come back to me when we're closing up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about baseball cards for quite a bit there, and so the reason I ask about more baseball cards is because I do a Wax Packs Wednesday, and for every Wednesday, well, for 36 weeks or roughly, I opened up a pack of 93 Upper Deck.
Oh,
why I opened that?
Because you're looking for that rookie?
Yeah, that rookie, yeah. So I was wondering if you had done that as well, because I was going to ask you about your Jeter card that you'd done, but so we did that. I was opening up a pack of 89 Dunners and a pack of 83 or 93 Upper Deck, and I pulled both of the ones at the same day. I had the Griffey ticket, but I didn't get to retire off of it.
Wow, holy cow. Yeah, I think I just stopped opening packs at that point. That's amazing.
So did you, since you did that, did you go back and buy those older ones, or you just go, you know what, I can go buy a Jeter rookie for $10 now, so it's not a big deal? Because for me, it was always
I bought set. When I went back, I bought sets.
Right.
I was like, I want this whole set so I can sit down and just like go through, through every one and look those up. And then I would find, I did find an 86 and 87 box, unopened box, and bought those. And I just keep them kind of tucked away, and I'll open them sometimes when like friends are in from out of town who are also baseball fans. And if I can remember, I'll just bring them out. It's like, hey, let's open these up. It's always a shocker for them too. Like, whoa, this is I haven't done this since the 80s. But I've never, again, I like just don't have the funds to go out and like buy those boxes or packs. That's one reason I think that I paint baseball cards is like I get my fix, like creating my own thing, like,
yeah, absolutely. So you guys have the lucky ones. You guys are the creators. I'm the guy with a little bit of money, so I want to Upper Deck. And for me, it was just content. And my buddy for the card shop was like, "Yep, I'll do your Wax Packs Wednesday." So I think he actually gifted me the box of Upper Deck. So
I've got it. Is that on? Is it? I can go view that now, right? You like?
Yeah, it's all on Instagram. I haven't posted. Gosh, I right now I'm opening up 87 Donners. And so it was a while back. So I was pretty good at posting every Wednesday with that there. But yeah, I'm just kind of the same thing. When we finish off the interview, I've got a pack of cards for you to choose from, and we're gonna chat about that. So it was just something kind of fun to do to kind of get back into it. So
yeah, it's so fun opening old packs. It's so much fun.
Yeah, John's had to experience this 40 times already. He still doesn't know that many people. So
yep. Well, you get those packs, you open them like, I don't know, who are these guys?
Yeah, that's it. We've had a couple of duds where like we knew like one player was like, okay, well, that was back in the day. So
yeah, that's when you just have to look for the strange poses or like, why did they use this photograph? There's no reason for this photograph to be on this guy's card.
If I don't know a guy, if I can't recognize a guy's name, which with the 80s ones in particular has been the case more often than not, I judge his ability as a baseball player based entirely on his moustache or hairstyle. So like it'll be that guy has a great moustache, and it's like that card should be worth a bit, even though he's a totally useless player.
Yeah, definitely in the 80s. I love that. I'm drawn to cards just not for who's on the card, but just for the photo or the mustache or hair.
And then you get somewhere the guy just has his arms crossed like that, like, are you done yet? Kind of thing. And it's like, my God, like that's actually been used for a baseball card, that pose. He looks completely bored out of his face.
I know. I don't get it. I just painted the Mattingly Topps rookie, and it has the two photos, like the action shot and the little portrait in the bottom.
Yeah.
And I was just kept studying his face. Like, why did they use this face? Because he looks like someone jumped out of a bush and took a photo of him. It's just kind of like you know, he's like kind of confused at what's happening. Yeah, so I love that. I love that about cards.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get started as an artist? You were drawing as a kid, and then did you develop your skills over time?
Yep, pretty much. I've always kind of been artistic. My granddad's an artist, so I was around it a lot. So yeah, doodling and like, man, like Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan, and when I was like in grade school, I could draw those a little bit better than my classmates, and so like I'd draw them and they'd give me 50 cents for them, you know. So I was just like, man, I love doing it, and I was kind of talented at it. So I did that for a little while, and then at like in my 20s, I got busy just kind of making a life and starting a family and all that sort of thing, and didn't do much at all. Had a couple kids. My wife and I have a couple kids, and so that took a lot of energy. Once they started school, I was able to have a little more time and started. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just start back in and really go all in on my art. So started learning, taking workshops, and really working at it as kind of, you know, a project. That would have been like 2013, 14 or so, something like that. And yeah, gradually. So at first I was painting landscapes, sketching portraits and figure art, that sort of thing, just pretty classical stuff. And then just had the idea of like, what if I made a giant baseball card, like a baseball card this big on a piece of wood that felt like card, right? And painted the Bo Jackson 86 Topps Traded, which is like one of my favorite cards. It's just so plain and cut and simple.
Yep.
And so I painted that on a card. It's the first one I did. I was like, oh, I love doing this, because it kind of, everything came together, my artistic skill and interest, and then it was baseball cards, and like I kind of approach baseball cards as an artist more than I do really as a baseball fan.
Yep.
So I'm drawn to cards that just do something for me, you know, like a layout or composition or something.
So it's interesting you say that, because I'm going to ask you what your favorite set is here. But
Okay.
we had an interesting conversation with a couple artists, and they said their favorite absolute card is 86 Topps for that font right in the top.
Yeah, I know. I've got to say 86 is my favorite. I mean, I love lots of others, and I don't know why 86 Topps does it for me, because it is about as simple as you can possibly get, right? But man, I love it so much. And it is the font. Sometimes the font does something unexpected with the A, the little, I think the upside down triangle with the cross in the A. I don't know. And the O's are just perfect circles, you know, nothing special. Yeah, I think that's my favorite set. And it probably also has something to do with, that was my first experience with baseball cards. Like my cousin had bought a couple packs, took the good ones out, just handed me. He was like a lot older than me, and just said, here, you can have these. And it just kind of blew me away. So I'm sure that has something to do with it too. But I love all kinds of other sets. But if I had to pick one, it was the first set I bought when I went back to buy sets.
Right. Yeah. No, it's in that, because that was the same for me. Like my parents bought me the set, and of course the first thing I did was open it up and read the back of the cards. And
of course, yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Is like, you gotta keep the set there, so you can't give a 10-year-old a box of cards and say you can't look at it. It's
right.
not gonna work.
Yeah.
So, because so that was it. So, but that's how I was at. And looking back on it now, like you say the same thing. I was like, the design actually is really simple, and the font's amazing. But at the time, like, I think there was no one good in it. So, you know.
I know, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that. And also I always thought, even though I loved it so much, I was like, well, I want to know what was going on that year for that layout, because it almost seems a little like they were behind the gun and just said, you know what, do black on top and white border on the bottom, and let's pick a font and go with it, and just throw the photo and their position in a. It's so, I guess the backs have way more design, obviously.
Yep.
They have the cool little baseball cartoon character.
Yeah.
Baseball guy. I've always thought about that for a tattoo, like the talking baseball guy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a ball with a bat over the ball's shoulder, you know. He's got a little face.
Yeah. Well,
Love
maybe
that little
go
logo.
fund me so you can get that done.
There you go.
So you said you started taking classes to become an artist. What were you doing as your day job before then?
So I grew up in the sign industry,
Right.
like making signs. My granddad, who is the artist, he was a sign painter, like hand lettering. You
Right.
know, he does this stuff. He built a huge sign company out of just lettering truck doors. And then when I came along, he made any kind of sign you could request.
Mhm.
And so I worked the summers. I worked for my skateboard and baseball card money, like I was working there, you know, and got experience and was able to kind of travel around a little bit with that job, with that kind of experience. And so at the time, for the last 10 years, I had worked as a project manager. I was able to do it from my computer at home for like
Right.
a national sign company. Yeah, so I was doing that, and that allowed me to kind of doodle as I work and watch Yankee. I could watch a Yankee. I would watch the previous night's Yankees game as I worked that morning. You know, so I could watch almost every Yankee game, which I wasn't able to follow a whole season before that. So that really like was great. But and it gave me some free time also to work on my art. Sometime on slow days, you know, you weren't there with a boss who you had to, you know, do something. You say, all right, this afternoon I'm going to draw a little bit.
You're not shuffling papers and having conversations at the water cooler to kind of pass the time of day.
Yeah, I know. It's great. That's working from home is great for that.
So did you speak? So you speak. You when you brought up skateboards,
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by your skateboard art you've done. Was that just
Yeah,
something
that's
you wanted to do? Like, you know what? I've got a blank deck. I want to put Bo Jackson on this blank deck.
yeah, exactly. I had the idea for a while because I like skate deck art. I think it's really cool.
Mhm.
I'm not like, you know, a thrasher, but I'll push a board around a little bit. I have a skateboard. I like skateboard culture. All those people are really cool, I think. Um, and so I just had the idea. I did a portrait. I got commissioned to do a portrait of Little Richard when he passed away,
Right.
for a friend of mine who works at a skate company. And I cut him a deal. He's like, oh man, all I can spend is this much. I was like, I'll do it for you. And he's like, well, in that case, I would like, if you need something from the skate company, then just let me know. I can probably get you a really good discount. I was like, oh, let's get some blank decks.
Right.
So he sent me a bunch of blank decks, and that was the thing. I was like, I'm gonna put 86 Bo Jackson on there and see what it looks like, you know. And I wanted to do it when I do the cards, like the ones behind me here. Those like are hours and hours of like really kind of, they're not photorealistic. They're very painterly, but I'm putting a lot of time in and getting things right on them. But I was like, with these skate decks, I want to make them quicker and like more pop art.
Mhm.
So I just throw in like some color tones, and then I'll come in with like black line. No matter what the card is, I'll put a black line work on it. And it worked really well for that Bo Jackson. I mean, I did that for myself, and then I had a place I was hanging my art in town at the time. So I hung it up there, and it sold like a couple days later. I was like, I didn't even get to hang it up in my house for a little bit.
not even for a photo opportunity. You can put it up there, take a picture.
Yeah, I just hardly had a chance with it. So I'll have to do it again, hopefully.
So did you actually go right on the board and go, all right, and what did the other skaters think about it?
Yeah, I think skaters. So that's another weird like melding of other interests of mine into my art. I posted. Which one did I post? I did one. Oh, I think it was the Griffey
Mhm.
rookie that I did. I still have that one. That one is hanging on my wall. And I posted it to Reddit, baseball cards there, and it somehow shifted over to people who are also into skateboarding, and they're way into it. Yeah, of course, it's really cool. I'm surprised that hasn't been done more. Really, that's you know, card art. I'd done a tarot card skate deck before too.
Right.
I like tarot cards for the same reason. I don't believe in anything on them, but I like the look of them. It's the same thing. It's like they're just really cool. They carry a lot of something about them, a lot of power in just the images. And so I painted one of those, and I actually skated it. I didn't hang it. I painted it to skate. So
Yeah, it's one of those things you create that and you're like, oh man, it looks great. I don't want to go and do some board rides and just completely ruin everything.
I know. That's what people were saying about the baseball cards. I hope no one's riding these. I actually don't care. I think it would be cool if someone bought one and said, I'm just going to skate it.
Yeah,
It's fine. It can be done. It's fine. I don't know. Sometimes skate decks look pretty cool once you've rode them for a year or so and then hang them up.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, or you break them and you just go, great, it's broken. I can put it up there.
Broke. Yep.
Everything up there. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I used to skate back in the day as well too, and I remember putting stickers all over the whole board there. And then like, oh, I gotta keep it perfect, and then you just go down one rail. And it's like, okay, that was fun. Let's go and just destroy the rest of the board now.
Yeah, I know. We got that one scratch.
Yeah. So let's talk about your card art. So when did you start designing the card art then?
So that was probably 2015 or so, 2014, 15. After I was really like putting in some work with my art, painting. I was doing a lot of landscape type stuff. Yeah, and then it was just I was kind of getting back into baseball cards as far as like revisiting them. And yeah, just that idea of like, oh, I want to make a giant Bo Jackson card. And when I did that, I was like, oh, I enjoy this more than anything else. I like painting these things. It just checks off a lot of boxes for me when I'm actually painting it. Because you take one of your favorite cards and I have to really study it. And I even will go in, I'll measure everything. And when you do that, when you have it blown up really big, then you can see the printing, especially the old cards where the print gets off and out of line, and I love that stuff. It's just so cool to paint that because it can look messy, but you're getting it right. And it gets like, I'm trying to show in my artwork the printed part of the card. And you can't just like, oh, that's a red. You have to, some of those reds are really faded out. So in mixing the colors, sometimes I'll, to take 2 or 3 tries to get that right. Like, what's going on with this color here? Yeah, so just studying those cards and spending literal hours, you zoomed in on cards. It's just kind of meditative a little bit as well. So when I did the Bo Jackson, I was like, oh, this is what I love to do. Then I started doing the ones that you see up here behind me. And after I got 2 or 3 under my belt, people said, hey, those cards are awesome, but my favorite card is this. Can you paint this? And so I started getting commissions, and that's mainly what I do now when I'm doing a card is I have people give them as gifts. They're great gifts, for like big birthdays or Christmas or something. Or they just want one to hang in their man cave or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So who's the weirdest player you've been asked to paint?
Man, nobody's super weird yet. Unfortunately, because I want some like really strange cards. Everybody's been kind of mainstream here. So I think I need to, when I start painting for myself again, I want to do the Mookie Wilson 86 tops. Just because I think it's like one of my first cards. I think I had like 7 or 8 of them when I was collecting, it's just one of those commons. But the Billy Ripken.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my card here. Justin, his card. He's like, I got my Billy Ripken. Yes.
Yeah, you got to have your Billy Ripken. So yeah, I want to do some, and definitely like, man, some of those guys who were just baseball work day in and out. They weren't superstars or any. So the weirdest one that I've been asked, I don't know. I really haven't been asked. The Robin Yount card I did, the 76, was one a little out of the norm, but not really,
That's his rookie year.
Yeah, it was a rookie year. It was a great card, really cool. He had that big hair popping out from under his hat there. So yeah, I don't know. Still waiting on those really, really weird ones.
I've got some inspiration for you because John knows a card I want to show you here.
Okay.
1991 studio, Steve Lake.
Yeah.
Oh God, I have seen that card. I don't know how many times now.
I love it.
What about the Wetlands?
Oh, the Wetland, the John Wetland.
Ada's a Yankee fan.
So I'll pull the Wetland down. So this is the 92 Pinnacle.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Pinnacles, the 92 Pinnacles are amazing. Yes. Maybe it was like a cockatoo on that guy's shoulder, right, or something.
Yeah, it's definitely a. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is, but yeah, like
Yeah, it's like a parrot or something. Maybe just like forget, like just start putting that parrot on famous cards, like put him on the shoulder of people. Just like he keeps showing up on people's shoulders.
Maybe that's where Edwin Encarnacion got the idea. It's like, oh, that dude's got a parrot in his shoulder. I'm gonna walk around with my parrot on my arm.
That's what he's doing. He's tipping his hat to that.
Yeah. Steve Blake's getting credit for that. Every time he does that, he gets 50 cents thrown his way.
That's so good. There are some strange cards, especially early 90s, right? The Pinnacle series I can remember being, there's some ones that make you scratch your head.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's talk about what you're doing for the fundraiser. What have you done for the fundraiser here?
Yeah, well, I'm not doing any special projects, unfortunately. I'm donating 20% sales to this week. So it was the 4th through the 11th, I believe. So I'm donating those. In doing this, I've got some plans. I want to do some cards or some portraits in the future. But again, it's like I kind of have my list of stuff I do for myself and then my commission list that I work on right now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's in line. It's awesome. There's some great images out there. There's also some just really good stories for inspiration from the Negro League, and that history. It's kind of like when I discovered, it wasn't on my radar for a long time. I think it was the Ken Burns documentary. Mm-hmm. When I first watched that, spends a lot of time there, and you're just like, oh my God, there's some great stories. There's some legends in there. Some of the stats are amazing. And that's when I was like, oh, really? That really happened? You like go and you look up, So it's kind of, for me personally, it was when I discovered it was untapped kind of resource for more baseball history. I mean, a lot. Stories and a whole other league, right? I mean, it was great. Yeah, so I'm not doing anything special as far as the auction or anything. I didn't have time to do some sort of special set or painting, but I'm going to, but not for this.
Not the only person who's running this problem. Everyone kind of said it was kind of put together about in a month and a half, and so a lot of people was like, don't have a whole lot of time to do this stuff, and so it was like, all right, it's all right. It's going well for everyone so far. So and then hope it continues next year. We'll do the same thing, and then this time we'll actually have some time to prep for it.
Oh yeah, if it happens next year, I think that would be awesome, because I think everyone would have the time to really think through and get something together. I'd love to just do a card or something.
Cool. John, you want to ask your question, and then we'll open up some cards. So I think we're gonna have fun opening cards here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just quickly, a couple of comments. Jeff Hamlin, Aaron says, good to see and hear your voice, Jason. I don't know who Jeff is. Do you know?
Yeah, I went to college with Jeff. Jeff, how you doing, Hams?
Stephen Loudon is having the night of his life. The party was over for the Oakland A's, but not anymore. It's now 7-7 after a 3-run home run. And I want to point out a comment that Jeff Stone added to the stream for the last interview right at the very end. He is doing a Buck O'Neill piece.
All right.
Jeff, so that's awesome. So Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. We always like to finish up with our guests with the same question. And that is, as an American and as an artist and as a baseball fan, what do the Negro Leagues mean to you?
Oh yeah, good question. It's kind of something special, especially this year. For me, as a white person, I'm kind of on my own journey and have been through just things that have awakened me to my own the racism that's in me because of the society I've grown up in. And so that was something that is going on the last 2 or 3 years with me. And so seeing the Negro League in that light, and seeing how what an amazing part of our history it is, but also shining the light down on the way that my whiteness has operated in this country as it comes to baseball. It's kind of sobering, and so the Negro League, to me, like I said, for me it was an untapped resource for new baseball stories, new heroes, new legends, and it remains so. Like I'm still learning about that. So when I was contacted to participate in this fundraiser, I was like, oh, this is great. Not only will I learn more and meet people who are like-minded and into the same things, it'll be a good way to kind of make some sort of effort, however small, toward bringing that to light. Just like showing, we see banners around here that says obviously Black Lives Matter. We see Black Joy matters as well, and I think the Negro Leagues is that, like, in a time when it was required to have the Negro League, a league separate, those guys were still out there playing ball. They were making livings. They were making history doing that. And even in the midst of a time when it wasn't that great to be of a different color in America. So yeah, it means a lot to me, and it's meaning more and more the more that I'm able to be introspective of my own, whiteness and how I've been raised and the society I've been raised in.
Great answer, man. We're going to open up a pack of cards here. Before
Awesome.
we do, would you like to plug your social media and website?
Yeah, so I have a website, aaronhillart.com, and that's AARON. That's how I spell my name. That's my website. You can buy stuff from there. Again, like I said, 20% of anything sold will go to the museum this week. And also my main social media is Instagram. It's the number 4 and then ARON. So it looks like a capital A, ARON. Number 4, Aaron Hill. So yeah, you can go there and I'll post all my stories, sometimes like works in progress and almost everything I do, because I do other things other than baseball art as well. So I put everything on there, and it's a good way to contact me and stay in touch for sure too.
Brilliant. Thank you again so much for joining us, Aaron. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Let's open up a pack of cards.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I got a distinct feeling which cards you're going to pick here, but I've got about 8 packs of cards you can choose for. We'll open it up, and you pick whatever one you want, and we'll talk about the players, see what we get. So we're going to start with 87 Topps.
Okay.
89 Donruss.
Okay.
1990 Score.
Yep.
91 Studio.
Ooh.
91 Stadium Club.
Nice.
92 Donruss.
Okay.
92 Pinnacle.
Okay.
And last one, 93 Studio. So.
Ooh. Man, let's just go oddball though. I'm gonna go 8. Was it the 89 Donruss?
Yeah.
Let's do oddball 89
right.
Donruss.
Yeah. So
what did you think I was gonna choose? 87?
87. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, well, I've got those upstairs. Let's do something I haven't opened.
Well, I'll thank you at first because I've eaten about 6 or 7 pieces of gum.
Oh man.
It was like, you gotta eat the gum. All right, finally.
Oh my goodness. No way.
So I've got a nice collection of cards with the gum stuck.
With the gum. Yeah. I love that.
So yes, there's no gum eating there, and those are the ones that survived. The other ones I actually ate. So
have you guys talked to the artist who does the big sticks of gum?
Yeah, it's Matthew Rosen.
Yeah, that's his name. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah,
amazing.
Great idea. Fun. Because I didn't realize that. Yeah, what we was doing in the bubble gum there, and then he does another series with mac and cheese and cereal, because you used to get the cards of the mac and cheese and right. I completely forgot about those.
I forgot didn't you have to cut them out even?
Yeah.
Which one you had to cut out? Yeah. You're like, damn, I cut this all weird now. It won't match the other cards.
Exactly. I know you're sitting there trying to like do it, and then you're like, you're gonna shave it off. I was 10 years old. Like the parents were gonna trust me with razor blades. That wasn't gonna happen.
No. Man, I haven't thought about those cards in a long time.
Because I don't know how it worked in the rest of the states, but in Seattle they had Mother's cookies, and you got Ken Griffey Jr.'s cards, and I think I ate more Mother's cookies in my life just trying to get those stupid cards. Cool. All right, so we got 89 Donruss. We started off with a Hall of Famer. We got George Brett.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Not a bad start.
No, not a bad start. So we're hoping for the Randy Johnson and the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. So we got a Yankee here. John Candelaria.
Yep. Nice.
Let's see. But buddy Logan, if you're watching, and Hams, if you're still watching, go poke Logan Cardinal because I pulled a Mike Greenwell for him. I have a buddy back home that was like, "Have you pulled any Mike Greenwells?" So Logan, we pulled a Mike Greenwell for you.
You got to ship it out.
There we go. Another Hall of Famer, Alan Trammell.
Okay.
So it's not a bad pack. Got a couple Hall of Famers, a couple good guys.
That's a good shot there too.
Teddy Higuera.
Love that logo, right? One
of the best logo. I don't know why they ever went away with that.
I know, it's great. If I wasn't a Yankees fan, I'd be a Brewers fan for that logo, I think.
That's a tough one because you said we would have grown up and the Brewers are in the AL, so you couldn't really like them then.
I know. Yep.
I don't have that problem. The Brewers are my National League team.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We got Pete Stanek of the Orioles.
Another great action shot.
Yeah, it's a good picture of him. He stuck around for a little bit. The one thing I didn't like about Donners is they didn't have the cool player things on there. They had the stats and everything out there, but there was never, the cool stuff you got in Tops, or the studio ones are absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Ex-ball player likes fishing and hunting and watches Cheers and has 2 children. And then you had some who are just like, this guy has 2 children with his wife, and it's like that's all the information it's got on the card. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Real interesting guy. Guy.
I think what happened is they probably gave him a sheet to fill out information, and they went, "Yeah, I got a wife and 2 kids," and then like, I'll go into my hobbies and this and this.
I mean, to be fair, for some people that is their life, and all power to them.
That is true. Especially, I mean, he's playing baseball, so that's pretty. That's something.
Cool. All right.
you want them to write like, do you need more of a Major League Baseball player? Come on.
Yeah.
So John's gonna like this because we talked about this with Randall Graham, and so he actually got painting instructions from this guy, Dick Perez.
Oh, here we go.
Diamond King.
Yeah, I love those. Tried reproducing a lot of those when I was young.
Yeah. So
I was just blown away. I was like, yes.
So Randall was telling us that he would just go hang out with Dick Perez, and he has like all the paintings of the players up on his wall because like 10 minutes down the road, and we chatted for an hour and a half. I probably could have spent another 2 hours just asking about his conversations with Dick Perez because awesome. That was my introduction to art and sport. I never thought of it at the time.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So we've got the dreaded checklist card.
Oh man, get it out of here. Should I paint one of those?
Yeah. So what I didn't actually realize, so one of the most valuable cards you can find back in the older sets in the 50s and 60s is the checklist card.
Oh yeah.
Because no one kept it. You're like, this is crap. You throw it away. So if you
that makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't kept it.
Yeah. Get it graded.
All right. We got Mike Young with the Brewers. Let me see it.
All right, another Brewer.
Yep. Okay. Mike Smithman of the Red Sox.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all our Hall of Famers in the front. We're not doing.
Yeah, it was front loaded. That's fine.
Miguel Garcia. No, so no Hall. No, he's supposed to bid for a spot in the bullpen, so that's not a good sign. Eric Lilliquist.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a rookie. He was a top pitching prospect.
Okay. How did his career go, Jason?
I don't remember much, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
We got Jay Howell.
Yeah. I like that stance.
Longtime Yankee. I think he got in trouble with drugs. I think he was hanging out with what's his name that got suspended a few times.
Strawberry.
No, not Strawberry. It was another pitcher. I can't think who it is. It'll come to me later. But yes.
Yeah, the name's all.
I'm glad we pulled this card. So this is Alex Madrid. Now there is nothing special about this card.
Yeah.
But you'll often find it on eBay going for a couple $1,000s.
Whoa.
Why?
Because drug dealers will do transactions through eBay.
No. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you'll see these cards go for a couple $1,000s. Yeah. There's the 1990 Fleer on eBay. You go look at eBay and you're done. And people sell these cards because and it's this weird thing where who's Alex Madrid? And they go for a couple $1,000s then miraculously. And
yeah. Oh man.
So it's funny because I posted in Tops 2020 about this. I said I'd trade my Alex Madrid for some, I think the Mike Trout Ermsey one, and some
Yeah.
guy's like, I actually know him. Like me, I'm good friends with his brother. And so he's asking me, his cards, but he's telling him for thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Did he know that? Surely he knows that.
No, he didn't know that. I mean,
Oh, he didn't?
no. So it was kind of funny to find that one out. Cool. And we got our final card. We got Gerald Clark.
Gerald.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, Aaron, it's been absolutely amazing chatting with you. It was so much
Yeah,
fun
it's
with
great.
the cards. It was fun hearing your story. We'll definitely have you on again, and best of luck during the fundraiser.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to get back on again. Thanks for having me. It's great.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, Alan. It's been a pleasure to meet you and speak with you. And I'll echo that. We need to do this again sometime.
Yeah, for sure. And go Yankees tonight, right?
Indeed, I said Yanks in 4, Jason.
Go Rays.
Prediction is still alive. You fuck
I
off
saw
with that
that.
nonsense.
I'm calling them the San Diego Rays this year.
Yeah.
'Cause we're in San Diego. Like, get these
Well,
two-
a lot of you've got like Stanton, Judge, and Cole are kind of like in their home area. So
yeah.
hopefully, and we're the
Maybe
home team tonight.
I hope
So
it's- let's see. The
Yanks
San
in 4.
Diego Yankees, I guess, tonight.
Yep, it's Yanks in 4. Been a pleasure. I'll let you go enjoy the game. It starts in about a half hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks
so
again,
much.
man. Bye bye.
Hi, Aaron.
Bye.